So if this is your first time joining us, welcome. Don't be scared. I'll guide you through the whole thing, and my my advice is do what you feel comfortable with and investigate which you don't feel comfortable with. Investigate either one. Examine everything. It's yours that is the truth. So, as we begin our service this morning, I'll ring the bell 3 times. We'll let the sound and vibration call us here to this moment, to our seats of practice together. Aim your attention, your intention and attention to this moment and being present here and now, investigating everything that arises. I'll begin with the path clearing and wish fulfilling prayer to Padmasambhava, followed by our refuge prayer. Dusum Sangye Guru Rinpoche Nungdrop Kundak Dewa Chen Pojab Barche Kunsel Dudu Drakpotsel Solwan Depso Jinji Lap Tu So Chinang Sangwei Barche Jiwadang Sampalunji Drupa Jinji Lob. Precious Guide, one with all the Buddhas of the 3 times, blissful presence and source of all spiritual accomplishments, fierce destroyer of illusion who dispels every obstruction, we pray to you for blessing, inspiration, and realization. Please remove all outer, inner, and secret obstacles and spontaneously fulfill our aspirations. Sangye Chodang Soki Choknamla Jangchu Bardu Dagni Kapsuchi Dakji Jinsogi Pe Sonamki Drola Penshir Sangye Drupar Shok. In Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, we go for refuge until fully awakened. Through the power of generosity, ethics, patience, enthusiastic effort, concentration, and wisdom. For the sake of all beings, may we realize and demonstrate our innate goodness. In Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, we go for refuge until fully awakened. Through the power of generosity, ethics, patience, enthusiastic effort, concentration, and wisdom. For the sake of all beings, may we realize and demonstrate our innate goodness. In Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, we go for refuge until fully awakened. Through the power of generosity, ethics, patience, enthusiastic and joyful effort, concentration, and wisdom. For the sake of all beings, may we realize and demonstrate our innate goodness. The great Yogi Milrepa sang, "My body is the holy mandala itself, wherein resides the Buddhas of all times. With their blessings I'm freed from all needs and attachments. By day and night I offer them up. Happy am I to do without material things, knowing that all beings in the 6 realms of samsara are inherently Buddhas, and all the 3 worlds the self-creating, measureless Trikaya Palace. Whatever I do is the play of the Dharmadhatu, ultimate reality. Whoever I'm with is the Yidam deity. Wherever I stay is the Buddha's abode. Happy am I to forego outer supports, rituals, and symbols. We're aiming our attention and intention to this moment of awakened awareness, seeing things as they are, from that place within each one of us that is unchanged, unaffected by what we experience. See it as the seer, know it as the knower, and begin there. So we will practice a little chanting before we sit in our meditation time. And this chanting helps us to bring our awareness to here and now, where we're creating and experiencing sound and vibration. So as we chant this morning, we'll chant Lama Cheno. Very simple. Lama Cheno. And it means calling in the Lama, but more appropriately means waking up the Lama, or calling into our inner teacher, awakening our own teacher. Wake up, pay attention, guide me. Lama Cheno, Lama Cheno, Lama Che Cheno, 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 Lama Cheno, Lama Cheno, Lama Che Cheno. Breathe, relax, center your attention right here and now in this spontaneously arising moment Everything arises naturally. Everything settles naturally. Embrace the naturalness of this moment and you within it. See your own reactions as they arise. See them as reactions. You are not your feelings, thoughts, sensations, emotions, or reactions. You experience them all, but you are not them. Here and now, in the profound and the mundane both. Finding ease in your experience. Not searching for or striving for anything. Simply resting, watching. Everything is here naturally. You are here naturally, so there is nowhere else to go, nothing else to do, nothing special to be or become, nothing to achieve, nothing to discard. Just simply sit and breathe and be in this moment, the only moment, here and now, awake and fully aware. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 By the blessings of the Triple Gem, may the minds and hearts of all beings be attuned to the sublime Dharma. Bless us to move forward on the path of true understanding. May the way be cleared of all impediments. Bless us that the elusive vision may appear in the light of the transcendent wisdom of Buddha. May unskillful thoughts and actions cease to arise. Bless us with the awakening of true love and compassion. May all beings realize perfect enlightenment. You'll have to forgive my stuffy nose, which has developed in the last hour. So it has been a week, hasn't it? It has just been an experience. So it's made me think a lot of my reactions, unskillful and not, because sometimes we are just unskillful. There are unskillful thoughts and actions available at any moment. But in my analysis, I'm an analyst by trade, so it's part of what I do. So in thinking about my own reactions and unskillful behaviors, not trying to come at it with a judgmental sense, and that's different than I would have been 10, 15, 20 years ago or more. I would have beat myself up if I had realized that I was being unskillful or that I could have done something better. And every now and then, I still do that. I catch myself having expectations that are unmet, and that gets me agitated a little bit, beyond my good efforts. I might get frustrated or feel hurt or alone or angry even. So I like to think about maybe the way I was and the way I am, and what the game changer really has been that makes my experience easier, find more ease in it. Ease, looking for ease and okayness. And what makes that different for me? And, I've been a meditator much longer than I have been a Buddhist or studying Buddhism or practicing Buddhism. But to me, they go hand in hand. And I think there's a couple shifts to a couple game changers along the way. The first is when I learned to incorporate investigation and examination into my meditation practice, where I would sort of turn things over in my mind and examine from a neutral, or trying to be neutral, state. Not, to be specific, looking at things like agitation or looking at anger or looking at frustration from an examiner's standpoint, not so personal, not my agitation, but agitation in general. What is it? Where does it come from? Why or what spurred that emotion, that experience? So one was that first shift was really adding examination into my practice. The second and very significant game changer for me has been what is really the root of refuge. So when we talk about refuge, in the Buddhist sense, it's the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, which, this deep of translation means taking refuge in the Buddha, taking refuge in the teachings and in the spiritual community. But what does that actually mean? And the shift that is so important is understanding that the Buddha in the refuge is really talking about the innate capabilities of our humanness, not trying to be like a guy who lived 2,600 years ago, but really what the example is of an enlightened, living in an enlightened state. And I'm sure that Siddhartha Gautama had frustration and agitation and anger and boredom and all of those things, but it's really how you embrace your reaction or not. And that's a huge example for me. So it's not trying to be godlike, it's not trying to be pious, but to shift to an understanding an awakened awareness, so I can see my reactions and not react to the reactions in a way that's, um, discernment of like and dislike. Oh, I don't like my reaction, so now I'm having a worse reaction to the reaction and compounding that. But instead, seeing, with curious investigation and examination, that's what reaction looks like. So you can see the shift of being the perceiver of that and seeing that as sort of a show rather than being in the middle of that little tornado. We're adjusted accordingly and seeing the tornado there instead of here, right? Now, the teachings are not doctrine, and teachings don't just mean Buddhist books or Buddhist teachers, but each and every experience, each and every being that we encounter, there is examination to be had in everything. Everything must be meditated, many of the masters say, which means we turn our attention toward it with curious intention to see what its qualities are and what our own reactions to those qualities are. So don't get caught that it's just books or things that come from a specifically Buddhist teacher or figure, but all beings. And you can see, as you examine, some things feel right and some things feel out of place, odd. And it's your own guide, going back to the Buddha, the example of the Buddha-ness in you, that helps you to discern that is right, or that is uncomfortable but right, or that's not correct. And I can see that in its true nature and understand that it's not my reaction to it that is my aversion. Instead, we use that as an examination. We look at our own aversion and see, what is that from? Is that my own resistance, or is that just the wrong path? So we can use those tools to continually examine and use tools that we learn, like meditation practice, where we sit with our eyes closed in a quiet place and learn to settle ourselves and let things come and go. Find our own ease within our own being. Find the ease in the palm of your hand or in the flow of your breath. That those are all examples of how to continually turn things over in your mind and examine from a standpoint of curiosity rather than I like it or I don't like it, because that is not what you're looking for, is like or dislike. That is an obstacle in its own right. And the third is this spiritual community. And your spiritual, I like to think of it as Mahasangha, the greater Sangha. So it doesn't just mean, this little group of people who happen to practice within this group, but all beings that are examining things from that curiosity and support the examination and the calmness and the ease and peace available within it. And that's not to mean, that's specifically not to mean to reject others for not being on that same path, but we can see those who are on a similar path as our brethren, and we can support each other and be supported as well within a like-minded group of people, even virtually like this, that we can just find a safety in that group to open up and curiously examine, because it does feel very vulnerable to examine our own discomfort on a moment by moment basis. It's really the beauty of finding peace and ease, is understanding our own reactions in a skillful way, rather than rejecting them and reacting to them, and reacting in an unskillful manner. So as we begin to, we're getting close to starting our Foundations class, Foundations of Buddhism class. It's a 6-week exploration of the basics of Buddhism. We start on the 17th, and we're going to do it virtually, so I'll provide a video lecture some days before, so you have time to kind of watch the lecture at your own in your own time. So if you want to check it out over lunch, or you want to watch it at 3 in the morning, you can do that. And then we'll gather together on Tuesday evenings at 7 p.m. to discuss, review and discuss what those teachings are, and how to maybe use them in a skillful, examining way. So we're coming up close to that. So I wanted to talk today about refuge and what that is. We say the refuge prayer often. It's also a ceremony that you can use as sort of a first communion, if you will, but it's really considered an invitation to begin. And I particularly don't define a difference between a big ceremony of, lighting incense and taking refuge and embracing that refuge at a big ceremony, once a year, or the difference between saying the refuge prayer as I begin to sit each day. There's no difference to me. And it's an invitation to begin, and an invitation to remember that I have the innate ability to become awakened spontaneously in this moment, that there's no linear pattern. You don't have to learn this, and make this offering to become awakened. It happens in this moment when we realize that's a sound, and this is a sound, and I'm having a reaction, and I can see and feel and taste and touch everything that is in this moment, and that is awakening. Being here and now is awakening. And with that awakening, we can endeavor to understand the elements of our own human reactions. And when we understand that and can learn to develop our loving kindness and compassion for ourselves, and then react in an appropriate and skillful way, then we are acting with enlightened spirit. And when we embrace that in our community together, even virtually, then we have all the elements of refuge. And it is important to remind ourselves often that we have those gifts in front of us. So it's good, and we'll certainly do some thoughts about refuge and our prayers and invocations and what they mean and don't mean throughout that class. but you'll obviously get a little bit of reinforcement in our Sunday talks as well. So I particularly choose the words and prayers carefully for that which I need to be reminded of. Like the path clearing and wish fulfilling prayer to Padmasambhava, asking for the wisdom, asking myself to awaken within the wisdom of myself to see obstacles as they are, and not as just obstacles, but my own creation. So when we realize that those obstacles are our own creation, we can also make them dissipate. So, something to think about. So if you haven't signed up for that class, or if you've even taken it before, this is going to be a little bit different, and a little bit different take on it, and our virtual learning will be an interesting endeavor. So I hope that you join me. It's on the website, so sign up as you like. All the materials and everything will be provided. So with that, I hope you've had a little bit of ease in the last day or two. I know I have, where I realized how much tension I had been feeling and unrest about our political situation and everything that's been going on there, and even the support of finding balance and cure for the pandemic that's going on. So I realized very clearly yesterday how much that was bearing down. So don't overlook. Even if you've been ignoring it, there's still some stressor that has been going on. So be kind and patient with yourself and others as it bubbles and settles and bubbles and settles. So I hope this has been helpful for you today. And I'm going to close with the 4 dharmas of Gampopa and Longchenpa, followed by the prayer for 10 accomplishments and our bodhicitta dedication. So listen to the words carefully as I recite these writings, these teachings, these intentions. Listen carefully. Bless and empower us that our minds and hearts turn toward the Dharma. Bless and empower us that our Dharma practice becomes the path. Bless and empower us that path truly dispels confusion. Bless and empower us that confusion itself dawns as primordial awareness. Rigpa. The prayer for 10 accomplishments by Lama Suryadas. May we realize true sincerity and integrity, inner purity of mind, dispassionate equanimity toward all we see, right understanding of this dreamlike world and the next, loving compassion toward others and the genuine intention to be helpful in alleviating suffering and confusion. May we directly perceive the truths of impermanence, mortality, and interconnectedness. Relinquish wandering thoughts and rampant desires. Accomplish freedom of mind and clarity of spirit. Remember with gratitude those who have gone before and shown the way, and vow to reach together full and complete enlightenment. Jangchub Semchol Grimpoche Makye panam ke gyurchi ke panyam palme payon gong ne gong du pelwar shok. May the pure, brilliant sun of bodhicitta dawn in each and every heart and mind, dispelling the darkness of suffering and confusion, unstoppably until all are illumined and awakened. May the pure, brilliant sun of bodhicitta dawn in each and every heart and mind, dispelling the darkness of suffering and confusion, unstoppably until all are illumined and awakened. May the pure, brilliant sun of bodhicitta dawn in each and every heart and mind, dispelling the darkness of suffering and confusion, unstoppably until all are illumined and awakened. Body, speech, and mind directed toward awakening for the benefit of all beings, including ourselves. Well, thanks for hanging out and practicing and looking for your own investigation and examination of reality as it is and illusion as it is. So let's stay on that path. If you haven't signed up for Foundations of Buddhism, it's up and ready to go. We have no real limits to how many we can have in the class. So jump in and bring a friend if you want. So thank you for being here and for practicing. If you'd like to make a donation, it's right there on kansascitybuddhistcenter.com, as well as everything. Our daily practice videos and Sunday videos are all right on that front page. So see you there.